What's up, you Hearthstone players? Today I'm going to show you how to play the famous and very strong Handlock Deck. It is clearly a control deck which tries to win in the latest stage of the game with its powerful creatures like Mountain Giant, Molten Giant and the ultimate late game minion, Lord Jiraxis. This deck also tends to be slightly anti-aggro due to 2 copies of Zombie Shower and 2 copies of Mortal Coil in the deck. Now that you understand the general concept, let's show you the decklist. And here you can see the decklist. Like I said before, there are 2 copies of Mortal Coil and 2 copies of Zombie Shower to deal with early aggression. And also there are 2 copies of Dark Bomb, which is a common replacement for Soulfire. Soulfire was in the past in the deck, but it was quite anti-synergetic because you have to discard a random card. That is not really helpful in a Handlock deck. Also, there's the Ancient Watcher, triggered by Sun Fury Protector, Defender of Argus or Iron Big Owl. It can become of great use in the early or even the later stage of the game. Big Game Hunter is a staple in almost every deck to deal with high attack minions. There's 1 copy of Hellfire and 2 copies of Shadowflame. You could do it the other way around, then I mean 2 copies of Hellfire and 1 copy of Shadowflame if you face a lot of Zoo or Mech decks. The Twilight Drake is also a great synergetic card with the hero power. Then you can play this guy, for example, on turn 4 and have got a 4/9 body on the field. Antique Healbot gives you necessary healing. Sludge Belcher is just a great mid-game minion with 2 taunts. It can be a really annoying card. Then also there's 1 copy of Siphon Sword, just a great removal card for high-end creatures. The Sylvanas Windrunner is one of the strongest legendary. This card can turn around games on its own. Dr. Boom, the new legendary from GVG. You see this card in almost every deck now. It's the strongest legendary from GVG. Lord Jiraxis, Mountain Giant and Molten Giant. I don't have to explain why these cards are in these decks. So, that was the decklist, and now I'll tell you something about the general playstyle. The general playstyle of this deck is very simple. You should keep in mind that this is a control deck. That means that you should have an advantage in the later stage of the game. So the first goal must be to be able to survive until the end game. There are some things that you have to keep in mind to achieve that. Against aggro decks, you should always look for a Mortal Coil, a Zombie Shower, a Dark Bomb or a Sun Fury Protector. You can keep the Ancient Watcher if you already have a Sun Fury Protector and or an Iron Big Owl in your hand. Against Zoo or other aggressive mech decks, you should also consider to keep Hellfire. Against control decks, however, you should always look for a Mountain Giant and Twilight Drake, because the opponent cannot put enough pressure on you to prevent you from playing one of these minions on turn 4. In Hearthstone there are 3 different resources: tempo, life and cards. And against different deck types, 1 resource is more important than the other ones. Against aggro decks which try to overwhelm you with a big board, the most important resource is tempo. So you have to focus on being able to put something on the board and be able to deal with early threats. Against phase decks like Phase Hunter, the most important resource is life. Always watch out for your life total. Against control decks, the most important resource is card advantage. Because both decks cannot apply early pressure, the main focus of this matchup is to try to gain the card advantage. That wraps things up about the general playstyle, and now I'm going to show you the deck in action. Now we are in a game against Rexar the Hunter. It's a really tough matchup. I don't think I don't want to keep the Hellfire or the Twilight Drake, but I'm going to keep the Mortal Coil against potential Leper Gnomes or something like that. It could come in quite handy. And a Sun Fury Protector. It's not perfect, but you can work with that. Okay, we cannot do anything in the first turn. I of course hoped for a Zombie Shower. That would have been ideal. And he's going to play an Undertaker. I think I'm just going to play the Sun Fury Protector on turn 2. So, if he's going to be able to give his Undertaker +1/+1, I'm going to be able to kill it with the Mortal Coil. But we're going to see about that. in any second. He's going to play a Haunted Creeper. That's not bad as well. And of course attacking the face. But now I'm going to do what I said. First I'm going to live tap. Okay, another Mortal Coil. That's not bad at all. And a Sludge Belcher again. Okay. Okay, I think he's going to go for the trade, but I can kill one of his Spectral Spiders with another Mortal Coil in the next turn. Okay, he's using his hero power. And another 1-drop. A 2-drop with his coin. The Mad Scientist. Okay. I think the question now is, do I live tap or do I play Sunfuel Protector? First I'm going to draw a card with a Mortal Coil. Of course I'm going to play the Ancient Watcher. Next turn Sludge Belcher or Sunfuel Protector and another or live tap. There are some options I will have in the future. Okay. Now he's of course attacking face. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. I hope I will survive the next 3 rounds or so. Okay, I think that is the best play you can possibly do. Taunting these two up. And the next 2 turns I will have Sludge Belchers. Now I want to see how he deals with that. That was of course a very, very good draw against his Hunter deck. What is he going to do? He's going to... Wow, he's got an Iron Beak Owl. That's unfortunate. But I'm going to be able to attack with that minion. Maybe he has forgotten that. Okay. It can be an explosive trap or a freezing trap. If it is a freezing trap, I want him to go. Okay, it's a freezing trap, so I can kill with the 4/5, the 2/1. But I think I'm going to play the Sludge Belcher or Molten Giant because he's got 4/6 damage. With kill command it could be game over. That's why I'm going to play Sludge Belcher and Zombie Chow. I think it's a more safer play. We're going to see maybe the next one, Molten Giant is Sunfuel Protector, if he's getting me down to 10 or something like that. A Leopard Gnome. And is he going to attack into me? Yes, he is. I think I'm going to play Molten Giant and Sunfuel Protector. Yes, I'm going to do that. It's not a bad idea. Now I have 3 taunts. I can live with that. Taking 2 damage. I should have taken the 2 damage first. That was a slight mistake. Now the only thing we have to worry about is of course double kill command, but I can't do anything against that. Savannah Highmane. Okay. Maybe we have lethal next turn? That could be the case as well. 8, 10, 14, yeah, we have got lethal. And we are going to win this game quite convincingly in a non-favorable matchup. Yeah, that was a good game and a good example of how strong this deck can really be. Yeah. I hope you liked this video and have a lot of fun with this deck on the ladder.